Hey, friends, welcome to some sort of episode of Surviving Out of Spite. My name is Smith Sauer, and I'm your host. Anybody that knows me at this point and how I do things here on the podcast with G-PACT is I get an idea in my head and I just roll with it. Um, I know because of the topic I want to talk about and my past experience in life that if I think about it too much, I will talk myself out of doing anything. So I can't give myself that opportunity. And that's what made me hit record on the camera today. So we're just going to roll with it. Um, it's hard. I I don't really even know what I want to say. I've helped develop this platform for G-PACT, and we have done a lot on like vulnerability, telling your story, and all of those things. And I've shared bits and pieces here or there. And um, today hit me a little bit, and I thought to myself, you know what? I want to share this, which seems a little bit unlike me, but I realized very early on in doing podcast stuff and being a little bit more vulnerable to the public again, I started to realize that, well, you know what? If you're feeling this, then somebody out there is too. And here we are. So, like most people, or a lot of people, I would say, who have some sort of health condition, I deal with anxiety. And I have been an anxious person for as long as I can really remember. My parents might argue that a little bit. I don't know. But for my brain, I've always felt pretty anxious, and it's ebbed and flowed as life ebbs and flows of it's something you can deal with, something you can't really deal with, maybe need a little extra help, whether that's through the form of therapy, medication, a combination of the two, or something else that maybe helps, relax your nervous system and kind of chill you out a little bit. For me, for a long time, that was running. And when I'm not running and I'm not able to kind of release any of that energy, whether it's good or bad energy, I'm kind of stuck. My health has not been that great in the last forever. But specifically in like the last year or so, I've struggled, getting myself back together and had a lot of downs more than ups. So, the things that I normally go to cope with, I can't really go to them right now. And my anxiety has been pretty bad. And, with things going on in the world right now, so many of us, on top of like our normal shit, have got like all this other stuff on top of it that just adds to that worry. And all of that makes sense because have you been outside? So I truly, I don't even know where this is going. And the more I watch myself, the more I feel like I need to sit on my damn hands because boy, they move around a lot. But I was making myself something to eat. Got to be lunchtime. I was really enveloped in building something in Canva, and I have been telling myself I have to stop zoning in for too long and go get myself a little something to eat. Now, I've talked about this on and off in different pieces of like our content that my stomach hasn't really been doing so good. So I didn't even know what I was going to be able to eat, if anything. So getting myself together, I had something playing, like streaming on my iPad. And all of a sudden, I couldn't breathe. Like, literally could not make myself like take a breath. It was like my body just forgot how. Like, I've had multiple situations where like I feel like I can't breathe when you're in the midst of a panic attack and you are breathing, but it just feels like you can't. I literally was not breathing. And I had to like reconnect with myself. And it felt like minutes on minutes on minutes going by, but it was probably like a nanosecond, but it felt like forever. And I kind of got myself back and I'm like, holy moly, like what just happened? I started to feel like I was going to lose my eyesight. And then that heavy, like hyperventilating breathing started happening. And it's interesting, at least from my perspective, when things like this happen because it's like an out of body, like dissociative experience of like, I can see it happening in my logical mind, but my emotional mind, like, can't do shit about it. And neither can my logical mind. Like, they're just so disconnected from each other that they're just kind of like stuck in their own places. And I fully could not take care of myself. And I know, because this is not a first for me, that there's a couple things that I can do to help in these situations, especially because I'm by myself. I'm home, my husband's at work, and I have a song that I will play. And I usually like the over the ear headphones because that like extra pressure kind of on my head, it's like, sensitivity thing, like a weighted blanket for my head, um, really seems to help, but they were dead. So went to go grab my AirPods and I'm walking back toward the kitchen where my phone is to go plug everything in, and all hell broke loose in my entire body. Hyperventilated so bad that I could feel myself on the verge of blacking out. I could not think straight. I couldn't see straight. I just was like, I don't know what to do. And I just kept telling myself, like, you're okay. You're okay. You're going to be fine. This is just anxiety. Like, this isn't real. You're okay. And just trying to repeat that to myself. But it almost was like making it worse. I'm like, shit. Again, like the second coping skill of mine is just not working. And I can't even get myself into where my phone is so I can start playing the music that I needed. So I get myself to the doorway between like my living room and my kitchen, and I'm like looking around, like probably I wouldn't even want to have seen what I looked like, but in full blown panic. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. And I can feel my body getting weaker because I'm hyperventilating and I don't know what's happening. And I'm just like, okay, this is it. This is it. So many other things could have taken me out, but it was gonna be this. And somehow, some way, I just was like, focus in on something. Focus on something. And I zeroed right in on a bag of King Arthur flour. It's red and white. Just talking to myself like, see a bag of flour. It's red. It's King Arthur flour. You use it to make sourdough bread. You use it to feed your starter. Just telling myself this over and over again. Then what else do you see? Okay, you see a coffee pot and you had coffee this morning and you didn't finish it. Like, I'm trying to just anything that I can see that I can focus on. And then I'm trying to feel the floor so I didn't feel so unsteady. I'm feeling the coldness and the hardness of the floor. And I'm like, okay, I need to sit down. So I slid myself down. I'm like, okay, feel the floor. It's hard and it's cold and it's steady. I'm okay. I'm on the floor. You can't fall anymore. You're okay. What else do you see? I just kept picking at something, and slowly but surely everything started to calm down. I'm like, damn, that actually worked. Like, good to know. Um, and I just sat there like, after my body calmed down, like, I have no idea what just happened. I couldn't even tell you what did it. I couldn't even tell you what happened between like point A and point B that got me from like functional to non-functional. And a couple weeks ago, at least I think it was a couple weeks ago now, when maybe I don't even know time anymore. My husband and I went to DC for the DDNC, and at one point on our drive, we had to go in a tunnel. And now tunnels, I'm like, yeah, cool, whatever. Didn't know anything in it. Apparently a tunnel went underwater. I didn't like that very much. I was not okay. I was not okay. And I could not function. I'm just so glad I was a passenger princess and not driving, because between the darkness and like the lights kind of like flashing as you're driving by them and knowing that you're underwater, and I I didn't even know that I needed to prepare myself for that, because I didn't even know that that was going to bother me, right? And my poor husband just like, you're okay, everything's fine. I'm like, I am not okay. I am really, really not okay. And we finally got out from the other side. Like, I felt like I didn't breathe that entire time. And then when I saw sunlight and I knew like we're coming out of it, I'm like, okay, I'm okay. But I still wasn't okay because my body was like fighting in that mode of like, I'm terrified to I'm okay to what the hell just happened. Like, I didn't prepare for that, like, nothing. And I used, because I travel with it and I carry it with me and I use it daily, my, vagus nerve stimulator that, I use from Zenowell, not NAD, but, we do have a relationship with them. Um, Plugged that right into my ear and turned it on and used their relax mode to help pull myself down. And between that and being outside of the tunnel and seeing like the fresh air and my husband's presence, like I started to relax myself. And then after the 20 minutes went by using the device and just kind of like calm down, I'm like, what the hell just happened? Did that after this again today to kind of reset my system a little bit. And yeah, so I've been sitting here trying to get back into a work zone and I'm like, I'm still not okay. And the reason I'm even bringing this up because I don't really like talking about this stuff, not because I'm ashamed of it, but because it just feels weird to be not just like super vulnerable, but to be like, hey, like I just freaking fell apart and I feel like I need to verbalize it, but you don't really know how. I don't even know what to explain or say or do or think right now because my brain is like cut into a million different pieces where I know that there's a part of me that's okay. There's a part of me that's still like trembling of like, is it over? Is something else going to happen today? Like, is the bleh, like I literally I don't even know. I truly don't. And as I was sitting here trying to piece my brain back together so I could be productive for the afternoon, I realized that I needed to talk about it. And one of my only coping skills, methods, whatever, that has ever worked for me to get through anxiety is to talk about it. So instead of just talking to myself, I'm talking to you, which in reality, I'm still talking to myself right now, but you know what I mean. I always thought people were weird when they're like, I'm going to hop on and talk about something. But, I think I kind of get it because our lived experiences can be very similar to somebody else's. And if you are still listening to this right now and you're like, I've been there, or I understand that, or even like I feel like if you are thinking to yourself that like you feel seen, like then my job here is done. And I think that those are the pieces and those are the things that like we do need to talk about more and that I do try to talk about more myself in my personal life and here because obviously this affects so many different parts of our lives. If we're uncomfortable talking about it or feel ashamed to talk about it or not sure how to talk about it, like reach out to us, reach out to me, reach out to our support groups, put out that like, hey, I'm feeling some sort of way today. Has anybody felt some sort of way before? What did you do? And I think that that's how collectively, we can help each other, but also help ourselves and really just acknowledge that these things really do hit hard and they suck when they hit. I've dealt with panic attacks for a long time, and I, for the most part, for the majority of that time in my life, I've been able to well control a lot of things. I've, gone to therapy, not ashamed to need medication and use medication when necessary, and, work with my therapist, my doctors to help me manage things when it gets worse. But the thing for me is I've been full gas pedal to the floor for a long time. And when you do that, it can be good sometimes because that distraction or that, real hard focus can really help keep you on track. But when something crashes into you you forget how to handle things. You forget what to do. You forget where to start. You forget how to breathe. And that's about where I am right now. I think some trauma, medical trauma that I didn't deal with from some severe health issues at the end of 2025 are still lingering. Life stress, health stress, world stress, all of those things, they take a toll and they hit you when you least expect it. This is my way of trying to heal myself a little bit. It's my way of showing you that being vulnerable can be scary, but it can also be incredibly healing. This is me showing you that you are not alone if you are feeling anywhere close to what I'm feeling or have felt something similar in the past. And it's also my reminder to myself and to anybody who's now made it this far or is listening to this that we need to take better care of our mental health. And sometimes rest of the mind and the body is the healthiest thing that we can do. And a reminder to myself and anybody else out there that is gas pedal to the floor more often than they're not. It might look like that's the best thing to do, but have a plan B in place for when you inevitably are in the wrong lane. So I really had no point to this except to verbalize my own anxiety and really just to say that you're not alone in this if you're feeling it. And, our support group is here if anybody's feeling like they need to verbalize something or just want to sit with some other people who get it. We do it once a month. It's on our website, the links if you want to sign up. Talk about lots of things in there and might be a place to help connect with some other people. Yeah, anxiety sucks. Chronic illness sucks. Gastroparesis sucks. There's a lot of things that suck. And there's a lot of things that are hard and a lot of days that are hard, moments that are hard. And today, this was my hard. And it's probably going to be my hard tomorrow. And it's going to be my hard for a little while. I don't love that, obviously. I don't love that. But if you feel that too, just know you're not alone. And yeah, that's really all I had to say. Sound like a typical influencer of like, I was just coming on here to talk about myself. But, I'm pretty sure I verbalized this in one episode or another, but in a group therapy that I went to years ago, there was a saying that has stuck with me for probably the better part of a decade. I was talking about denial, but I think it can really be with any, I'll say neutral or non-positive, emotion. That denial is a place that you visit and it's not a place that you live, not the place that you call home. Where in some moments there is safety in putting on some blinders and just getting through the moment. But it's when you live in those blinders for too long that you start realizing that you never learned how to deal with the thing around you that your brain and your body and heart were denying. And whatever that might be for you. And for me, it's been that shit's hard and I'm exhausted and I need to deal with that and figure that out for myself, how to manage it all, how to deal with it all. And, maybe that'll stick with you too, and it doesn't mean that like you come out of that and now everything's good, everything's happy, right? Two things can be true, right? It can be hard and you can be happy. You can feel sad about something, but you can also feel happy about something. You don't have to choose one or the other. You can be both. Everything is dynamic. Everything is more than one thing. We're not one thing. And your emotions don't have to be just one thing either. So, as I am saying this to remind anybody listening to me drag on for however long, but a reminder to myself because, we deserve all the empathy and, you know, kindness that we show others when they're going through a hard time. My point is that if you are feeling anything right now, if you are struggling, we're here for you. We're here for each other. And take care of yourself. And don't leave those blinders on for too long because if you do, you may end up like me, sitting on your kitchen floor, hysterically crying, reminding yourself where the bag of flour is because that's the only thing that you could possibly focus on in that moment. So, um, take care of yourself and we'll talk soon.